Hey guys, welcome to UDC channel. This is Jay. This is a two-part video where I talk about these two great lights separately. That way you can choose which one you're more interested in. But I highly suggest that you check out both of them. They are really awesome. I've done lots of research and waited patiently for the perfect one. Okay, AA is probably my most favorite form factor. It's the perfect size to output ratio in my opinion. AAAs are kinda a tad too small, but they're still okay in terms of handling in the hand. Anything smaller than this, like this 10180s or the Auroras, has a different feeling. But it's just the output and the runtime that are not so great. Most only can go up to less than 200 lumens. This Menker E02 is one of the brightest AAA that I know, which can go up to 220 lumens, but then again the runtime is limited. Some can take 10440s like this Raylight Pineapple Mini, which increases the output to 360 lumens. While they're okay or even amazing indoors, they don't perform as well outdoors. This 14500 barely make it, but still quite acceptable. We'll see some beam shots later. Another size that I'm quite comfortable with is the 18350 or 18500 like this. It's just that I feel that the length doesn't really matter as much as the width when you prefer smaller lights for EDC. And 18650 is probably the max I will carry. I didn't have any AAs at all until recently. I gathered a few recently, and because it's my favorite format, I got them all in premium materials. I got this Lumintop prints in stainless steel and carbon, but I won't really review it since it's already discontinued. I'll just include this in the beam shot or tint comparison later on in this video. Then I got this beautiful Lumintop Tool AA 2.0 Ti version 2. That's quite a long name. It's very pretty. I imagine this is what a man's jewelry would look like. I was very attracted by the original Tool Ti, which takes AAA instead, which also comes in brass and copper, but like I mentioned earlier, was held back by the output and the runtime. It's only as bright as or even less than this 10180 lights. Even so, compared to all these other tiny lights with proprietary batteries. Anyways, back to this light. There are more affordable aluminum versions with 3 color options. Regular plain black, the usual gray that I normally go for, and the most interesting one is the silvery white with the contrast black clip, which is used a lot on May 4th for Star Wars theme. This is not an unboxing video, so I won't go in any detail, just want to show the box it came with. It's a regular Lumintop boxes if you're familiar with them. I had been carrying this AAA copper light for a while. I was surprised on how light this titanium version when it arrived without the battery. It feels like holding nothing. There's some subtle branding and logo here, which is nice that it's not obtrusive. The knurling is very impressive. Lumintop did a great job here. There are a few differences and or improvements with this second version. It has a brass head now, which should help with the heat, since this light can give out quite an output for its size. I read somewhere that the turbo mode even can break the internals, since there's no time or temperature control step down. I wasn't too crazy about the color though. It's a bit too bling for me. especially with this gold clip as well. The clip is fairly thin, but the tension is alright, I guess. It's quite tight that it's scratching the body when moved. And it's not deep enough carry. That part that's sticking out sometimes get bumped around. I now starting to understand the term deep carry clip and why most people prefer it. And I prefer it to be just silver, leaving just one part of the light, which is the head, to be gold, just like the AAA version. Luckily, just like the Prince Mini, they fade out almost instantly. I don't really mind them now. In fact, I kinda dig the pale golden hue. And it also helps a lot with the smoothness. Oh my gosh, the tail is so rough and gritty, if you guys can hear it. I know titanium has this issue, but my previous two titaniums are both twisty, and they're far smoother than this one. It's now available in neutral white option with Nichia 219C, and I'm really glad I opted for it. They don't really specify the color temperature. It's supposed to be neutral white, but surprisingly it's warmer than the 4000K Nichia in Pineapple Mini. It would really look awesome in moonlight or firefly mode if it has one. Actually, I prefer brass to have a warmer tint instead. But okay. Let's see. It is rated at max 650 lumens with 14400 and maximum 270 lumens with AA. But I believe it's for the Cree cool white option. They don't really specify, but usually the Nichia is quite a bit dimmer. The EDC of 5, which is also using a AA and has the same LED, I think, can go up to 800 lumens with 14500. I'm not sure why this one can go up that high, but 650 is still okay, I guess. Has waterproof rating of IP68 for 2 meters. I would prefer the tail switch to be metal, like this, or the Mini. But the rubber switch with blue auxiliary is a nice touch. The thing is that it's not properly aligned. My OCD says no. I'll probably try to fix it later by disassembling the tail. And note that the glowing tail switch only works with 14500 for some reason, and this was also available in the version 1. It also comes with this glow-in-the-dark diffuser, which is always a fun bonus. My kids love playing with this at night, and they're actually kinda useful too, to diffuse the light so it's not so it's less bright since it doesn't have a moonlight mode. Forgot to mention about the pocket clip. It can be reversed on the other slot, or just the whole body can be reversed, replacing the head and the tail. I was tempted to torch the whole body to make it bluish or purplish. It would also look awesome with some golden accent, but I don't have the heart to do it. It's just too beautiful. Maybe later in the future when I'm bored with the shiny silver body. Okay, I finally did it, but it's just the middle part instead of the whole body. And it's a little bit too much than I was aiming for, but it turns out quite okay. And another thing I forgot to mention, I wish that the glowing tail is breathing like this one, but probably it's hard to do since this is not electronic switch. And it'll be cool if Lumintop they should make a tool 123 that takes RCR123 or 16340. Hopefully somebody at Lumintop can make that happen. Victor? Now to the cons or things that has not been improved in version 2. Two cons for me, which is otherwise make it a truly perfect A. No moonlight mode, making the current spacing also not great with the current 4 options. I would love a sub-lumen moonlight less than 0.5 lumens. Most of the time usable low, maybe around 15 lumens. And of course the highest option at the maximum 650 lumens. And medium anywhere in between, doesn't really matter. Probably somewhere around 300 plus lumens. This is probably the least used modes for me. And memory function makes it worse. Having to remember which mode I use last. At least it doesn't have to stay for a certain time, like 30 seconds before it remembers it. Honestly, sometimes I can't even tell if it's in the lowest mode or medium. Just have to make sure to switch back to the lowest setting before turning it off. The spacing are also too close to each other because of it. There's a hidden strobe mode which is activated by 6 clicks. In this case, 1 full clicks and 5 half clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not sure how useful it is, but it's there. Because it's supposed to be used in emergency situation, or usually there's a shortcut to it. Like mentioned in my previous video, tail switches seems cool and make the flashlight looks cleaner, especially for these premium ones. But in practice, side switch is more natural to use and hold. This flashlight offers a dual operations, a tail switch and a twisty head. Not really a side button, but offers similar function, which is better for the reason I just mentioned earlier. What I don't understand is why we can break the connection from the head, but not from the tail. Please comment down below if you know the answer. It is quite useful since it doesn't have a software lockout. Other AA's worth mentioning, the EagleTag D25 Ti. Really like the minimalist design, but it was already discontinued at the time, and I don't really like the new D3A design. DCO on the other hand is just wow. Being a minimalist, of course I'm attracted to the beautiful design. It's just that the price tag that drove me away. Mac Army PS14 Ti. It has awesome color options. Probably the only dual LED color option out there. And probably the brightest 14500 at 1200 lumens. But like DC0, even the aluminum option is quite pricey. Clara's MI7 Ti is also quite nice. It has similar design to their tiny version, which I'm already familiar with. But as mentioned earlier, I prefer a tail switch for premium AA lights. Meratech AA. Design is similar to this, but no tail switch, just a twisty. And like this, there are 3 options: the titanium, copper, brass, which is all are nice. i5T. I almost pulled the trigger. Really like the design and love the titanium and brass copper option, but there are just too many cons in my opinion. There's no 14500 support, which makes it only max at 300 lumens output. which is less bright than these smaller lights. Actually, when compared apple to apple, both using AA, it is rated brightest than any of this. There's only 2 modes with no moonlight, so the low is not low enough indoor at night and the high is not high enough outdoor. No neutral white or warm white option. Tint is not so great. I heard it's a bit greenish on the low mode. I'm not trying to bash OLED. This is more like an input or suggestion from a fan. Hopefully they upgrade it and improve it the next version, because I really like the design. It's really awesome and I really want to like it. In fact, when they announced the brass version, I did try jumping on their flash sale but didn't get it. I will still try to find it later on. So tell us what your perfect premium AA's are. In the next video, part 2, I'm going to talk about this new Raylight Pineapple version 4 in brass with more beam shots comparison. So be sure to check it out. Thanks for watching. Bye now. Okay, let's see the tint comparison. I tried to sort them from the coolest to the warmest. Sorry about the rain. Let's start with the Prince Mini with the Cree XPL HD Cool White. I believe this is 6500K. And then the FW3A with XPL High 3D Neutral White 5000K. Next is the MSR D4V2, my first SSD 20 4000K. And then the A8 with Nichia 219C 4500K. This is my first non-cool white light that I got. And as you can see, this is the one with the worst PWM. Next is the Pineapple, and also my first LH351D 5000K. So these two are supposed to be the same temperature, but it looks closer to this one. Next, the Pineapple Mini with a Nichia 219C 4000K. This is the tint that I like the most. It's kinda have this rosy tint. Last but not least is the Tool AA 2.0 Ti with XPL Neutral White, but it seems like the warmest in this bunch. Probably less than 4000K.